All right, I invite your attention to the R file, the one that I sent. So we'll be needing here some packages. So kindly, we have the quant mode, X, for us to get the data, XTS, this extendable time series performance analytics for measuring performance of historical data. Then the RU guards, this is our primary package for today because it allows us to model using guards. The forecast package, which we have been using in the past also, and then MTS is multivariate time series. We'll be also needing this in a while. Okay, so kindly, if you haven't loaded it, kindly load it. This might be the first time we'll be using MTS, so kindly install this package. So I have already installed this. Anyway, I'll just rerun that. Okay, so uh, the we have been discussing that over the past weeks, yung ARIMA model, no, yung autoregressive integrated moving average. So we said it's a powerful tool in order to model time series. In fact, we learned a tool, Auto.arima from the forecast package, where we can dispense with the usual steps. For example, you have to, if a time series is not stationary, you have to convert it into stationary time series, usually by differencing. Okay, in the auto.arima function, R will automatically do that for us. It will tell us if we need to difference. Otherwise, it'll just come up with either an AR model, an MA model, or an ARMA model. If there's a need to difference, then it will be an ARIMA model. Okay. Now, after that, actually, after you model the ARIMA or ARMA model or AR or MA, you will have to check about the volatility, the variance of the model. Because if there are non-constant variance, then you need to go a step further and you have to model that. So the ARIMA model is actually not complete, especially if there's a presence of heteroscedasticity. Okay. However, for example, in when I ask you just to model the ARIMA without considering the volatility, then you can just use the auto.arima function and find the model that gives us the lowest information criterion based on AICC, Akaike information criterion, or other information criteria. Okay, so in GARCH, what we do is model the volatility. So this is actually a step further compared to the ARMA or ARIMA. Okay, then they are useful in situations where the volatility of a time series is a function of previous levels of volatility. In other words, there's volatility clustering. When you say volatility clustering, the variations of the returns tend to, for example, if the deviation, if the variance goes up, then it keeps on going up, no? Or if it goes down, then it keeps on going down. That's what we mean by volatility cluster. Okay. Then I have here the formula for these the variance. Okay. So this one. Now let me just tell you what this is so that you can use this actually. Now there are different ways to write formulas in R. Okay, so this is the way how to write your Greek letters in R. So you have here the backslash, then sigma, and then underscore. That will be for the lower how do you call this? The I forgot the lower part of your variable, and then this is the upper part. Okay. Actually, if you only have one character there, okay. But wait, this guys, this double dollar and double dollar at the end makes the text centered here. If it's just a part of the sentence in text, you can delete that dollar, and then this will just become part of the sentence, an in-text way to write your formula. As compared to if it's double dollar, then you notice that if I highlight this, hover over this, you'll notice that this gives us the bigger writing, okay, the bigger text, and that's used if you're going to center the text on a row by itself. Okay, so we're modeling the variance. So this is the standard Garch model. It's a Garch 1-1. The variance, which is defined by the variance today, is equal to a certain constant plus, okay, the past error term, squared error term, t minus 1, the error term of yesterday, times a certain factor, alpha 1, plus the variance of yesterday also, t minus 1, but this variance, because it's sigma squared, times a certain factor, beta 1. Okay, that's your standard Garch 1-1 model. Of course, if you have Garch 2-2, then you will have a alpha 1 plus alpha 1 times epsilon squared t minus 2. Alpha 2, I mean. So that's the second log for the error terms. And then also the second log for the volatility or the standard deviation. Now, another way to express this is not by, is to rewrite the sigma squared. Some would prefer this. Okay, some would prefer substituting volatility or sigma squared with h. So when you read some text, you'll notice that the Garch model can be expressed this way, h sub t. And this refers to your sigma squared t. Okay, this is also ht minus 1, which refers to your sigma squared t minus 1. So that clear, guys? So I hope clear sa atin, guys, kung ano yung Garch model, no? So sa Garch model, ang minomodel natin yung error squared, no? Past error squared at saka yung past variance squared. So take a look at this. And when we model later, kino-combine to dun sa pag-model naman ng returns. Okay, so let me pause. Clear ba so far, guys? Paka-chat nga kung yes. Clear so far? Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, salamat ha. Salamat. I'll really appreciate your feedback. Okay, now I hope you can explore on this, guys. By the way, kung kunyari yung subscript pala, I was grouping for that word, subscript, pag iisang character lang siya, pwede nyo lang tanggalin yung ano, yung brackets dito, no? Kung iisa lang siya. Okay? Pero kung dalawa yan, katulad nitong t-1 na subscript, okay, kailangan may bracket siya. And again, guys, yung subscript is signified by this underline, and then the superscript, the exponent, by the caret symbol. Okay, so tingnan nyo, guys, yung mga Greek characters ko, backslash omega, backslash alpha. And then ito, guys, yung AST na to, this is for the asterisk. I'm doing this kasi pag may dalawang ang ginawa ko lang yung symbol lang na ano, symbol lang na asterisk. 'Di ba pag nagdalawang asterisk sa ano, naalala nito, guys, pag nagdalawang asterisk, 'di ba? Different color ni Aryan. Tapos hindi na niya mababasa yung ano, yung formula, no? Yung latex formula. So I refrain from using the asterisk symbol. I just use the AST, but it will appear as the asterisk, no? Okay, so mababasa yan, unlike kung diretso na asterisk. Okay, so I hope it's clear, guys, na ang Garch, ang minomodel natin yung volatility. Okay, sa Garch, guys, ang minomodel natin yung volatility. Okay? And oftentimes, pag sinabing Garch model, guys, it also models the returns. Okay, so parang combination na siya ng AR at saka ng AR to model the returns, and then Garch to model the volatility. Okay, so moving on, guys. That was just a brief. Here are some references. I think I gave this. No. Here are some references, guys, on if you're more keen on knowing how to write. Kasi pag ginanto nyo, guys, so tapos ni-knit nyo yung ano, if you knit the markdown, mag-a-appear na ganito yung formula. So this is a good way to write your formula so that when you need it either sa Word or sa HTML or sa PDF, ganito yung lalabas in good form. Okay, you can refer to this references. I purposely did not do this last time kasi or the previous ano kasi ang gusto ko ang focus lang natin yung concepts muna. Okay, so let's again download yung Apple prices using the quant mode. Quant mode get symbols. This function get symbols will allow us to draw out the Apple prices from 2008 January 1 up to 2020 December 31. Okay, so let's do that, guys. I have done that, no? So pakiran na lang. Okay, so may Apple na ako na run ko na to kanina before the classes started. It's taking some time. Okay. So sabi natin, ang kagandahan kay Quant Mode, guys, you're able to get yung whatever Yahoo, which is the default, gives us. So ito yung prices ni Apple, no? Open, high, low, close, OHLC. Then you have the adjusted. Normally, guys, for finance, what we model are the adjusted prices. Okay? Kasi if you're taking a look at the market value, ang tamang ang ginagamit yung adjusted and not the close. Okay, so let's go back here. Ano ba yung class nito? Sabi natin, it's an extensible time series. Also a zoo. A zoo series is also a time series, no? Mas malawak yung scope ng XTS. And then we plotted this. Okay, we plotted this last time. So just very briefly, ginawa na natin to so that we mahaba tong ano natin discussion. Bagal yung bagal yung yung internet and the desktop. Tagal. So while it's plotting, guys, and then we said pwede rin natin i-subset, no? If we only want to get the plot, okay, yung chart series, guys, that's the default plot in quant mode, no? Okay, so ito yung Apple, guys. Notice yung 2008, hindi lang masyado makita dito. Ito yung malaking baba, no, during the global financial crisis. Tapos dito naman, I think this will be the 2019, okay, yung COVID, or it might be this. Okay, but if you want, guys, a subset, so you do the chart series Apple and then you subset it. This one will just plot the 2020 December. Okay. It's going so slow. Okay, so kanina nga pala nakita natin dun sa buong Apple series, kita natin yung volatility, ano? Okay. So quant mode through its chart series is also a good tool in order to plot. This is the candlestick. So I think last time sabi ko sa inyo, itong green na to ibig sabihin nag-increase, no? Prices went up. So itong wick na to, WICK, ito yung vertical lines na to. Ito, guys, yung dulo na to, this is your lowest. This tip here is your highest. This one, your vertical line segment here, that's your open, and this one is your close. I know that this is my open and close kasi green siya, ibig sabihin tumaas. On the other hand, ito naman, ang sa taas dito open, ang sa baba close kasi bumaba yung price because of the color. Okay, so very informative and very quick way to get the returns, the historical prices, I mean. All right, Apple returns, guys, we need to compute. We're going to model the returns, no? And usually sa mga ano natin, ang interest natin sa finance, yung returns, hindi yung prices. Okay, so let's create this object Apple return, and then we're going to use performance analytics to calculate the returns of the adjusted close of, take note, ang ginagamit natin adjusted close, no? May question? Sorry, my EMA and sorry, Ernest, hindi ko nakuha yung question mo. Ano yung EMA? Oo, yes. Ano yung exponential moving average? Yes, meron. Pero mas ano siya sa forecast, no? Yung exponential moving average at saka yung simple moving average, it's better to use yung forecast package doon. No? Pag mga ganyan ng modeling, mas maganda ang gamitin yung simple moving average, EMA. It's better to use the forecast package. Remember the Hindman book that I shared with you sa yung forecasting principles and practices and principles. That's a very good book, Ernest, para mag-model ka using exponential at saka simple moving average. Okay, maraming modeling na pwede ka magamit. Okay, so thank you for that question. All right, so here we have computed already the Apple returns. Okay, so let's just quickly look at that. Ito, no? Apple returns. So one column na lang siya. Okay. Yan. And returns na siya, hindi na siya prices, no? Okay. And then, magkaiba sa inyo kasi guys, rinan ko na to, no? Ang ginawa ko dito, ang ginawa natin pala, I think we did this already last time, but we're just reviewing this, quick review. So yung returns natin, ito, we created another Apple ret, no? Tinanggalan natin yung Apple ret, tinanggalan natin yung first row. Okay, take note, I didn't identify the column kasi dapat row column yan eh, no? Kung may comma dito, wala akong comma dito to identify the column. Kasi isang column lang naman siya. So no need to identify that. This one pertains to the row. Sinasubset natin, tanggalin yung row 1. Kasi when you run this for the first time, you'll have an NA, a missing value. Okay, so let's plot this. Let's plot. Okay, kita natin guys na ano na siya, no? Na when you get the returns, usually ano na siya yung stationary, no? Kaso nga lang, sabi ko, pag ARMA lang gamitin natin dito. Note I said ARMA kasi hindi naman tayo nag-difference, ano? Magkakaroon tayo ng problema sa volatility kasi nakikita niyo dito, consistent na clustering ng pataas, clustering ng pababa. This is easily nung global financial crisis, no? Tingnan niyo yung negative returns talaga na nagka-cluster sila, panay baba. That's what we mean by clustering. Tapos dito naman, meron tayong clustering pataas, taas. So ibig sabihin kung yung previous return tumaas, ngayon tataas din yan, bukas tataas din yan. So that's what causes the clustering, no? Nagkakasama-sama yung mga pataas, nagkakasama-sama yung mga pababa. Okay? And when we have that case, guys, magkakaproblema tayo kung ARMA lang ang gagamitin natin kasi ang ARMA does not have the capability to model the heteroscedasticity. Okay? Si ARMA ang kayang i-model yung past error terms or yung past values of itself, but not the volatility. Kaya nga enter Garch, guys. Enter Garch. Okay, so ito guys, ginawa natin to last time, just additional information to. We can compute for the volatility, no? Some would measure volatility as the variance, some would measure it as the standard deviation. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Kasi ang variance naman, pag kunuha mo yung square root niyan, standard deviation na yan. So for the whole Apple returns, guys, since Apple returns is a daily data, then the average, then the standard deviation of the daily Apple returns is 0.02. Daily lang yan. Pero usually would like to get the annual, standard return. So that's why we multiply it by square root of 252, no, to compensate for the standard deviation. And 252 is the number of average number of trading per year. No? So when we do this, syempre, mas malaki syempre yung volatility kapag annual lang tinitingnan natin. No? Alright? Then sabi natin, we can get the volatility for a specific year. Ito 2008 guys, during the global financial crisis, kita nyo guys, 58% yung volatility, very, very high. Pero noong 2009, medyo bumaba na siya, no? 33 na lang. 2019, okay, 26 lang. Okay, pero nung COVID, start ng COVID, tumaas na naman siya. So affected naman yung volatility ng returns. Alright? So ito din guys, sabi natin, we have the powerful performance analytics. We can chart guys. Yung volatility niya, this is a moving average. In-explain ko na dati sa inyo kung ano ibig sabihin nito. So this is a monthly moving rolling volatility. Ibig sabihin ng monthly guys, kung compute 22 days, kukunin yung volatility niya. Tapos magdadagdag ng isang araw, magbabawas ng isang araw para 22 pa rin. And then you keep on computing that, no? So it will start on day 22, okay, and then day 23, etc. Magkakaroon na ng volatility kasi every following day, you add one day and then you remove from the last day. Okay, then meron din tayong dito, this 66 is 22 times 3, this is 3 months. And then yung 252 dito, this is the annual. Okay, so tingnan natin, run lang natin to quickly. So we will see here that the volatility for the monthly will be more sporadic, no? Kasi nga mas maraming measures yon as compared to the 3-month, lalo na sa yearly, no? Yearly rolling volatility. Pag annual kasi mas konti na lang kasi you count every 252 days. So in fact, magsisimula yung first volatility at day 252. Okay, sana yung plot ko nawala yata. Ito. Okay, so I already showed this to you last time, no? Ayan, no? Mas maraming observations kapag monthly as compared to 3 months. Lalo na sa annual. Tingnan nyo guys, nagsimula sa annual, oh, after 252 days to. Si monthly after 22 days, si 3 months after 66 days. Doon nagsimula yung pag-compute nila. Okay, so moving on guys. Okay, let's test muna guys kung iaarima natin, no? Mag-arima tayo, no? Let's create an object called fit1. Then we use auto.arima. Okay, yung Apple returns, sabi natin trace is equal to true, ipakita yung steps. And then IC, yung information criterion is BIC. So let's run this. Okay. So it will stop up to a certain level. So dito ang inano lang niya hanggang ARIMA 202. Take note, walang integrated, walang integration, no? Kasi guys, yung data natin, yung Apple Red, it's already stationary. So no need to difference. So pinapakita lang sa atin dito, based on this, sa auto.arima, it will only generated up to 202. The best model here is ARIMA 000. Ibig sabihin, constant mean lang to, no? Imo-model natin yung returns, walang past values. Ito PDQ to, di ba? Ito guys, P, ibig sabihin past values of itself. Ito yung Q, ibig sabihin past error terms. So 00 siya, 000 kasi it has the lowest information criterion at negative 16,225. Okay, you don't find any here lower than this one. Okay, kaso nga lang, hindi tayo sure guys kung meron pang mas maano dito, mas maganda, no? So that's why we're doing this. So sabi ko guys, pag mag-auto.arima kayo, ipakita niyo kung approximation is equal to F para i-compute niya talaga ng yung hindi niya i-approximate. Ito kasi ang default in-approximate lang niya eh. Okay? So trace is equal to true, ipakita pa rin niya. Okay? So let's run this. Okay. Now we're talking, no? Mas marami siyang pinakitang ARIMA model. And it turns out, guys, that there are higher order ARIMA na mas maganda kaysa kay 000. Okay, still working. Nag-run pa siya. Ang bagal ng computer ko ngayon, tsaka ng pag-run ng R. Okay, it's still running. Tapos ibibigay niya yata, ang best model is, yan ang by 4. Okay, yan na. Okay, so best model, guys, is ARIMA 3, 2, no? Ibig sabihin ng ARIMA 3, di ba? Ano ibig sabihin niyan? Past values of itself. Okay, yung 2 naman, past error terms. So magiging ano natin yan is AppleRet at t-1, AppleRet at t-2, AppleRet at t-3. 3 lags, no? Okay, 3 lags. So you have, you'll now have phi1, phi2, phi3. And then, ito naman yung 2, we have theta 1, theta 2. 2 lags, 2 past values of the error terms. Okay? So, ito yung mga coefficients niya. Ito yung mga coefficients ng AR1, AR2, AR3, MA1, MA2, and the mean. Okay? So, we're not interested really in modeling yung ARIMA. No? Okay. We have to, moving forward, guys, we will check yung ACF at saka PACF nito. Titingnan natin yung mga residuals kung meron siyang autocorrelation. Kung related yung mga residuals, ibig sabihin nun, heteroscedastic yung model natin, no? So here, okay, so let's create an object called resid.fit1, and it's the residuals of fit1 kasi interested tayo dun sa kung ano yung nature ng residuals ng fit1. Okay, and also we're going to generate yung squared residuals. Kasi usually ganyan yung tinitingnan, yung residuals at saka yung square ng residuals. And then ipa-plot natin. No? Okay, so generate natin tong residuals. RR will be ito na yung residuals natin, tapos i-square natin siya. Square natin siya. Tapos i-plot natin, guys, partition natin yung plot, 1 row and 2 columns. Then we get the ACF and the PACF nung squared residuals natin. And let's give it a title, ACF of squared residuals and PACF of squared residuals. Okay, so i-run natin to. Okay, so you now have this. Okay, tingnan natin yung ACF ng squared residuals. Okay, tingnan natin yung band nito. No? Dapat, guys, yung mga residuals, dapat hindi na siya correlated, dapat hindi na significant. But if you take a look at this autocorrelation, serial correlation at lag 1, significant to, di ba? Kita nyo, significant at many lags, significant at many levels. So, ibig sabihin, our model suffers from heteroscedasticity. Ganon din yung PACF, guys. So, on both counts, guys, hindi pwedeng model natin. Okay? Cannot be. Kung ARIMA lang 302, may problema tayo sa heteroscedasticity. Okay, so as I mentioned here, both plots show some spikes that are out of the white noise band. So white noise bands, guys, yung sa band ng stationarity, yung dotted line. No? Okay, that means there's a correlation between them. May serial correlation tayo between lag 1, lag 2, etc., which is an indication of heteroscedasticity. Okay, heterogeneous problem, and it indicates that we don't use the ARIMA model, but we use the GARCH model. Pero i-check natin to, guys. Let's do a formal check. Kasi plinat lang natin no? Just visual. So we need to do a statistical test. And we're going to use the angles arch test. So this is a Lagrange multiplier test. Ang hypothesis niya, yung residuals natin, walang arch effects. Ano yung arch, guys? Autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity. Okay? That's what this means. Okay, H1 naman, H1, ang alternative niya, may arch, no? May serial correlation between the residuals. So, i-test natin to, guys. This is coming from your multivariate time series. Okay, the code, the function is argtest, and then ang tinetest natin yung yung residuals, no? Residuals. So let's do this. Let's run this. Okay, so we have this. Okay, p-value is 0. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun? We reject the null hypothesis. I-reject natin to that the residuals don't have conditional heteroskedasticity. There is heteroskedasticity. Okay, since the p-value is 0, we reject the null hypothesis, which means that there are arch effects. Thus, hindi constant yung variance. So, ang gagamitin natin, guys, hindi yung ARMA, but rather GARCH. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Pause muna ako. Bakit hindi natin gagamitin si ARMA, guys? Kasi may arch effects. Pag may arch effects, hindi kaya ni ARMA i-model yung volatility. So, kailangan mag-step forward tayo and then we model using GARCH. Okay, clear yun? Paki-yes nga, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Alright, so sabi ko nga guys, ang gagamitin natin, buti na lang, dati wala yung RU GARCH, no? Nung nagmo-model ako dati ng GARCH, walang RU GARCH eh. Ngayon guys, meron ng RU GARCH and it's really a very powerful GARCH, no? Model, no? So kaya-kaya niya mag-model ng iba't iba. Yung vanilla version, yung 1.1, meron siyang iGARCH, eGARCH, GJR, APARCH. So many different GARCH. This is called RU because univariate. Ang ibig sabihin ng univariate, isang time series lang yung minomodel natin, which is what we're doing. No? Merong another package, RM naman, R multivariate GARCH, which is not covered by this course, but that's modeling more than one, two or more na time series. No? Okay. All right. So magsisimula tayo, guys. How do we model using RU GARCH? Well, simple lang, no? Tatlo lang yung basic na steps. We have to define yung specification, and then yung fit, and then we can do the forecast. Okay? Yung specification, guys, I'll explain in a while, pati yung fit. Sa specification, may tatlo tayong tinitingnan. Let's go down here. Okay? So, tingnan muna natin, guys, yung default, yung empty function. So, here I'm creating an object called spec. And then I'm using the, this is from the RU GARCH, no? UGARCH spec. And then open and close parentheses. Tingnan natin guys, i-run natin to. Ano mangyayari? Okay, ito yung minomodel niya, no? So ang magiging result yan, ibibigay niya sa atin kung anong model, kung anong tina-target na variance, and then kung anong klaseng mean model ang ginagamit natin. Mean model, ibig sabihin guys, yung model ng returns. Tapos, you have, yan, basically guys, yan yung laman ng GARCH, UGARCH spec. Okay? So let's close this, i-apply na natin to. Okay, so we're going to use Apple returns using RU GARCH, no? So ang unang gagawin natin, kasi tatlong parts yan, yung mean model, then variance model, at saka yung distribution. Okay? So sabi ko guys, the model using UGARCH spec has three components: mean, variance, and distribution. Kailangan ma-define natin tatlong to. Sa mean guys, magsisimula muna tayo sa constant mean muna. Okay, so ang mean, di ba, how can we model the mean? Using ARMA or ARIMA. Pero dito guys, ang gagamitin natin, 0, 0 muna. No? Ibig sabihin ng 0, 0, walang regressors of past values of itself and walang regressors ng past error terms. Ibig sabihin nun, constant muna yung mean natin. No? Okay, it does not depend on the error terms and the past values of the time series, which is the Apple returns. Then you'll have the variance and then the distribution. So, ang mangyayari niyan guys, let me just show this. Yan, no? So ang model natin, since wala siyang ARM, AR and MA component, hindi tayo mag-a-add dito ng past error terms, epsilon sub t minus I, wala ring past values of itself, apple ret t minus 1. Okay, clear ba yun guys? Kasi di ba pag may AR model, may dinadagdag tayo na previous na value of itself, yung apple return tapos t minus 1. Kung AR1. Kung MA1 naman, past error term, so that will be epsilon sub t minus 1. Okay, times your theta, no? Times the parameter. Okay, so ito yung magiging model natin sa mean. Ito yung pinaka-basic. So ang sinasabi niyan, we're just modeling the apple returns based on the simple average. Yung average ng returns na yan. Okay, sa variance naman, ito lang i-run ko. Okay. Sa variance guys, ito yung model natin. Okay. Sa variance, yung standard natin, this is called the standard GARCH kasi GARCH 1-1. No? Okay, GARCH 1-1, you model your volatility at time t by the past squared error terms and the past volatility, t minus 1, t minus 1. So parehong lag 1. Okay? And then you have here the coefficient ng error squared and then coefficient ng sigma squared. And that's how you model your variance or volatility. Okay? So for the distribution, guys, we're going to model it first. We're going to assume that it's normally distributed. Yan ang pinaka-basic. Okay? Pero kanina, guys, di ba minodel natin? Saan ba yun? Did we run that? Did we run that? X ko lang to, ha? Kasi yung chart natin kanina. Ito guys, no? Ito. I'm going to run this. Hindi pa yata na-run to kanina. No? Control, i-copy ko siya. Control C. Dito ko i-run para mas malaki yung space. Kasi pag rin-run natin guys sa dito sa R script natin, mas maliit yung plot. Pag dito, okay, yan. Yun yung mas malaki yung yung kaya natin All right, if you see our apple returns guys, yung blue, this is the histogram. Okay? The green one is the ito na yung natin, yung lost forwards. That is our density, no? Kalimutan ko yung density. So that's your density. Okay, and then the red one is your normal distribution. As you can see here, guys, ang haba ng tails dito, no? Ito, ang haba ng tails. Yung green one, lampas-lampas dun sa red, no? Okay, ibig sabihin yan, hindi normally distributed yung data natin. There's the presence of many negative returns. So ang fat tails natin andi dito. Okay, so if we're going to assume in our model that this is normally distributed, magkakaroon tayo ng problem. Okay? Ulitin ko So di ba nag-GARCH tayo? Ang uunahin natin as a basic model is GARCH 1-1, which is called your standard GARCH model. Tapos unahin muna natin na normally distributed tayo. Okay, so take a look at this, guys. So we create an object called spec1, specification 1, using the uGARCH spec function. Tapos tatlong model ang pinapakita, guys. No? You have mean model. So ang function niya, ang syntax niya, mean.model is equal to i-list natin, ARMA order is equal to 0, 0. Bakit ganito? Remember, guys, wala tayong gagamitin na P lags and Q lags. This is your ARMA 0, 0. So 0, 0 siya, constant mean to. No? And then sa variance model, S-GARCH means standardized GARCH. GARCH 1, 1 yan. And distribution.model, it would be normal. Okay? Alright, so once you have created this, create natin to. We can now go to the next one, which is to fit a model. So fit model natin, ang gagamitin natin si UGARCH fit. So we're going to use the data, Apple returns ang mino-model natin. Ang specification natin, yung spec 1. Ito. From this one. So spec 1 tayo. Okay, and then we ask R to generate the result. Control Enter. So this is now the result, guys. Yan. Okay? Yan ay result natin ng standardized GARCH constant mean. Okay. So dito, sabi, ang GARCH natin, standardized GARCH 1,1. Mean model natin is ARIMA 0,0,0. And then distribution is a normal distribution. So ito na yung variance model, mean model, at saka distribution model. Okay, so bibigay sa atin dito yung value, no? Yung value ng parameters natin. So standard GARCH lang tayo, ang lalabas dito yung omega, alpha, at saka beta. And then sa mean natin is the average mean, constant mean. And it turns out that they're all significant. No? All the probabilities are practically 0. And they're all less than 0.05. So okay yung model natin. Now there are some outputs here. Okay, alam natin sa information criterion, gagamitin natin to when we're comparing models. Okay, and for this one, the Yung box test to ng auto-serial correlation. No? Kung mayroon bang serial correlation, papakita natin in a while yan. Okay, and then, ganito din guys, this is the standardized residuals. Tinetest natin kung may serial correlation or may heteroskedasticity sa model natin. Dito din sa standardized squared residuals. So it's not only the residuals, but also it's not only the standardized residuals, but also the standardized squared residuals that's being checked here. Okay, and then you have also the ArchLM test. Ganun din to guys. It also is a test of serial autocorrelation. Serial guys, I'm using serial, S-E-R-I-A-L. Ibig sabihin, time series kasi, so magkakasunod yun, no? Unlike pag cross-sectional, hindi naman serial yung cross-sectional eh. And then this one is also interesting, yung Niblum stability test. This answers the question, yung mga parameters ba natin, si mu, si omega, si alpha 1, tsaka si beta 1, are they stable? Ibig sabihin, constant ba sila over time? Or will they change over time? Over time ba nagbabago itong mga parameters natin, yung 4 na parameters natin for a standard GARCH, no? Remember, for a standard GARCH, guys, 4 yung parameters na ibibigay sa atin. So dito natin makikita yan, we're going to compare later yung individual stat niya. Dito sa critical value, we're going to use the 5% level of significance. Okay, and then this one, also the sign bias. Ang daming information actually ang binibigay ng GARCH, no? Okay, later on i-discuss natin kung ano tong sign bias na to, para saan to. This has this has a significance dun sa kunyari ang mangyari yung error negative or positive. Okay? May effect ba yung mga to? So titingnan natin yan, particularly dito itong sign bias na to. And we notice it's not significant, no? So we're just going to focus on the sign and a little on the negative and the positive sign, and not necessarily on the joint bias. Okay, and lastly guys, itong goodness of fit test. Ang chine-check dito guys is yung yung empirical model natin turned out to be skewed, di ba? Yung actual data natin, yung Apple return. When we plotted it a while ago, it turned out to be negatively skewed and it turned out to be not normal. Pero minodel natin as normal. Di ba? Yung sa distribution. So this will answer kung tama yung pag-model natin based on the distribution dot model, no? Okay, sagutin natin siya. Okay? So I already copied the answers here para madali nating masagutan para tuloy-tuloy tayo. So what are the parameter coefficients? Are they significant? Yes, they're significant. And these are the values of the parameter. So what's the model? So ang model natin, yung returns. So remember sa GARCH guys, dalawa yung model natin dyan. One model for the mu, for the returns, and another model for the variance, for the volatility. So, okay, ang model natin guys, sulat ko na lang yung double dollar dito para ma-generate natin siya. Okay, ito yung model natin guys. So, the apple return at time t is equal to 0.00217 plus your error term. Okay? Saan nanggaling itong 0.00217? Ito yung mean, yung mu. That's the average, no? So ito lang yung model natin for the returns. A very basic model, hindi natin sinama yung ARMA, no? Walang past error terms, walang past values of the returns. Okay? I hope that's clear, guys. And then how about the volatility? Ito yung volatility natin. Saan nanggaling to? H sub t, remember this is volatility, is equal to omega natin, 0.00016 plus error term, guys, lagi may error term, plus, okay, alpha 1 pertains to the past squared error terms. So that's 0.124505, ito yun, kinopya ko lang. So multiply natin yan sa squared error terms. And then si beta 1 is the coefficient for your past volatility, no? HT minus 1. Okay? Or pwede natin isulat ganito, no? Pareho yung mga coefficients, pero yung volatility natin, not H, but rather sigma squared. Okay, pause muna ako guys. Any questions? So far, clear ba yung pag-model natin using mean? Yung mean natin is constant mean. Ibig sabihin walang ARMA component. Tapos yung GARCH natin is GARCH 11 standard. Clear ba? Any questions? Okay. Thank you. Ibig sabihin ng standard GARCH, guys, past error squared lang at saka past volatility. Yan. Remember guys, pag GARCH 2, magiging dalawa to, no? Dalawang T minus 1, magiging T minus 1 at saka T minus 2, epsilon squared, at saka sigma squared T minus 1 at saka sigma squared T minus 2. Pag GARCH 2-1 naman, yung una doon, yung P will be 2 past values of the volatility at saka isang value ng error squared. So that's how we write it. Okay, but usually guys, the good news is GARCH 1-1 kaya na, no? Madala ko nakakita ng GARCH 1-2 or GARCH 2-1. No? Okay, so next question. What is the AICC value? So kinopya ko lang to, no? Kinopya ko to. So this is the AICC value and sabi natin magagamit to kung magko-compare na tayo ng models. Are the standardized residuals autocorrelated? Yan. Sagutin natin to. Autocorrelated ba siya? Kasi kung autocorrelated yung standardized residuals natin, may problema tayo sa heteroskedasticity. Di ba kaya nga tayo nag-GARCH para ma-address yung yung heteroskedasticity na hindi kaya ma-address ng ARMA? So dito, ang null hypothesis, no serial correlation. Okay, based on log 1 guys, p-value is 0.4912. So ano to? Anong conclusion natin doon? We fail to reject the null hypothesis. So, walang serial correlation. Okay tayo dito. At log 2 guys, wala rin. At log 4, wala rin. So, it turns out guys na habang lumalayo guys yung mga logs natin, lalong lumiliit yung chance ng magkaroon ng serial correlation. Kasi how can a value at time t be correlated to a value at time t minus 100? Ba? So mas habang lumalayo tayo guys, yung logs natin lumalaki, mas lumiliit yung chance natin na magkaroon ng autocorrelation. Okay? So here, ano sabi natin dito? Reject. Reject natin yung null hypothesis. No, therefore, we fail to reject this, no? Sorry, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, no serial correlation. So pag walang serial correlation, okay yung model natin, okay yung GARCH model natin. Ganun din guys, dun sa sa squared residuals ganun din. Okay, pati guys yung ArchLM test, no? Test din yan for no serial autocorrelation. Ganun din yung log 3, log 5, and log 7. So consistent si Ljung-Box test at saka si Arch-LM test. Okay? Alright, question number 6. Ganun din to, no? Question number 6, ganun din, no? It's the same as number 5. Okay, question number 7. So based on the test of number 5 and number 6, which is a test for serial correlation for residuals and then standardized residuals and standardized squared residuals, okay ba yung ano natin? Okay, so answer, do they behave like white noise? Yes. There are no serial correlation among the residuals. So pag printout natin yan guys, makikita natin na walang lumalampas dun sa white noise region, no? So lahat yan, or almost all, no? Wala. Ibig sabihin, homoscedastic yung ano natin, yung residuals natin. Do number 5 and 6 indicate our model is valid? Yes. It's valid, guys, kasi nga, valid siya that the Garch process, Garch 1.1 is adequately fitted. Adequate siya based on yung measure ng residuals. Okay, next is the sign bias. Okay, so in-explain ko na dito guys for your reference, no? Para in the future, pag kunyari magmo-model kayo ng Garch, andi dito yung ano, andi dito yung reference natin. Si Engel and Nang, so they were the ones who provided this. So gusto nila i-test guys kung may misspecification of the conditional volatility models. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kung tama ba yung mga parameters natin ng alpha 1 at saka alpha 2? Are they correct or are they misspecified? O baka hindi dapat Garch 1.1? Okay. Specifically, they examine whether the standardized residual is predictable using dummy variables. So ito na yung technical side. But we won't go there, guys. Ang importante lang sa atin dito, yung null hypothesis. Ito sinasabi ko lang dito, guys. Ang way dito, okay, nag-i-introduce ng dummy variable na S- at saka ng S+, slacks, to model the shocks. No? Okay, but what's important to us is the null hypothesis is that the additional variables, the additional parameters, okay, the addition of the dummy variables is equal to 0, which means that the model is correctly specified. Okay, so ano mas gusto natin, guys? So dito sa sign test, gusto natin na yung p-values are greater than 0. Because that means that the model is correctly specified. Okay, kung hindi siya correctly specified, ano siya, yung ibig sabihin, we will have to change the model. Hindi katanggap-tanggap yung model natin based on the sign-based bias test. Take note guys, hindi lang yung residuals ang titingnan, ano? There are also other tests that we need to conduct. So ito yung sign bias test natin. The sign bias test is greater than 0.05, then okay tayo. Pati negative at saka positive. Let's not mind the joint, no? Ang focus lang natin dito yung sign, negative, at saka positive. So the results indicate that there is no leverage effect. Okay? We fail to reject the null hypothesis that there is no significant negative and positive reaction shocks based on the sign bias. Kasi tinitingnan natin, kunyari yung past values, yung residual, kung negative siya, may iba ba siyang effect dun sa volatility? O kung positive yung past residual squared, ano yung may shock ba na mangyayari dun sa volatility? So ang sabi naman dito, wala guys, wala. Now kung meron mga significant shocks, remember yung sign bias test. Kaya nga bias ang tawag yan kasi dinidelineate yung negative at saka positive. Kunyari, di ba yung volatility natin, we model it based on past error terms, no? Squared. Kung negative yung past error term, yung epsilon t minus 1, may iba ba yung effect niyan sa iba ba yung effect niya sa volatility as compared to positive yung epsilon sub t minus 1. So that's the one being tested here. So sabi ko dito, if there are significant negative or positive biases, no, ang i-recommend na model is A-Parch. Okay? That's asymmetric arch model. Okay, number 10 naman, Nibblum stability test. Okay, so ano binibigay ng Nibblum, guys? Okay, tingnan natin to. Ang tinitingnan natin dito yung stability ng ng coefficients natin. Ibig sabihin ba, hindi ba stable yung ano natin, itong mu, omega, alpha 1, beta 1? Kasi kung hindi stable yan, ibig sabihin magbabago yan over time, then we need to do some structural test. Ibig sabihin, kailan siya magbabago? So dapat siguro split natin yung model natin. Ano ibig sabihin ng split? Ihahanapin natin yung point na yung mu, omega, alpha 1, beta 1, ganito yung value. Then after that, magbabago na siya. So this is very useful if you're using, kunyari, nagmo-model tayo kunyari, returns. Tapos ang data natin, kinuha natin sinama natin yung Asian financial crisis, yung 1997, 1998, 1991, hanggang 2020. So merong periods doon na papasukin. Kunyari, 1995 to 2020. Merong papasukin doon na period na 1997, 98, 99 na nagkaroon ng Asian financial crisis. So ibig sabihin, it's possible that these coefficients could have changed. Their values could have changed. So ibig sabihin, may structural change. So magkakaroon ka ngayon ng different values for pre-Asian financial crisis, and then during financial crisis, may ibang value ng mu, omega, alpha 1, beta 1. And then after financial crisis, hanggang before global financial crisis. And then during GFC, global financial crisis, possible na iba na naman yung mga models na to. And then lastly, yung after GFC. That's what happens, guys, with the Nibblum stability test. No? So sinasabi sa atin ito kung meron bang pagbabago dapat yung mu, omega, alpha for this one. So how do we know that, guys? Check natin yung T, yung stat nila, yung chi-square ba yung ginamit dito? Basta yung individual stat nila. And then we're going to compare it with the individual stat at 5% kasi 5% naman yung ginagamit natin. So this is at 5%. And it turns out, guys, the si mu, okay, less than the critical value, okay lang siya. Si omega, less than the critical value, more than the critical value. Alpha, beta, less than the critical value. So of all these four, ang sinasabi nitong model na to, si omega yung hindi stable. Okay? So, sabi ko dito, guys, based on the individual statistics, only omega, okay, si omega natin has a stability problem kasi yung 1.4062 niya, individual stat niya is greater than the critical value at 5%. Okay? Ano ba yung omega, guys? Remember, si omega, ginagamit natin yan to model your volatility, di ba? Si omega is the expected variance at time t. Diba? At time t for the volatility model. So equation natin, H sub t is equal to omega plus alpha 1 times epsilon squared t minus 1 plus beta 1 times sigma squared t minus 1. Okay? So si omega doon, yun yung constant, no? Yun yung constant. Expected variance at time t. Constant at time t. Okay? And then dito, guys, okay, adjusted Pearson goodness of fit test. Anong kinakalculate niya? Okay, kino-compare niya kung yung distribution model natin, which is normally distributed, is equal to the actual, the empirical distribution. Kanina plinat natin si Apple returns at nakita natin, guys, na hindi siya normally distributed. Okay? So the test here is the residuals are actually ang ano dito, so the distribution, hindi residual, sorry, pakibago. The distribution model is normally distributed, no? Kasi yun ang ginamit natin, di ba? ginamit natin si normally distributed yung as our distribution model. No? So, anong findings natin? Less than 0.05, guys. So, reject. No? Reject the null hypothesis. So, ibig sabihin nun, okay, based on the p-value, which is equal to almost 0, we reject the null hypothesis that the distribution, sorry, marito, distribution is normally distributed. This agrees with the histogram we created above. No? So sabi natin guys na mas maganda kung wag normally distribution yung gagawin natin. However guys, kung tutusin, if we stop here, acceptable pa rin naman siya kasi yung value natin na greater than 30, the number of observations kasi natin greater than 30. So pag malaki yung sample size natin, yung t-distribution approaches the normal distribution. Okay? So, ito we need to talk about this. Bilis ng oras. Grabe. Plot natin. Let's run this guys here. No? Control C, Control V. I-run natin yung plot dito sa console para mas maganda. So, what's good about the RUGARCH is that it will give us several plots, charts. No? Okay, 12 yan. There are 12. Okay, so kung titingnan natin dito 12, if you want to exit this, you type 0. Okay, if you want yung 1 to 12, dito tayo maglalagay. Okay, I prefer doing it here kasi dito minsan ang bagal kung nasa script window tayo. Script pane. So let's plot 1, enter. Ayan. Okay. So you can copy this in your model, no? So ito guys, ito yung Apple returns. Tapos ang sabi dito, 2 standard deviations. So the orange here is the returns guys na plus 2 standard deviations of the Apple returns. So number 2, ito naman guys, this computes for the value at risk. No? I don't know guys kung have you met the term value at risk sa other subjects? So paki-chat nga. Quickly, please. Value at risk. VAR. Usually it's written as V, capital V, small a, tapos R, big R. So I'm assuming guys, na-meet nyo na yan, yung term na yan. Either sa risk. Hindi pa ba? Walang reply. Value at risk, yung VAR. Okay. Anyway, guys, this is a measure of the highest value that a portfolio or an investment could lose, no? Based on a certain probability. So 1% probability. Okay, so for example, ito mga to, yung point na to, this is the highest possible increase kasi positive siya. Probability of 1% of having this much return. Ito naman, probability, 1% probability of having this lowest return. Okay, so yun ang ginagawa ng value at risk. No? And then 3, so, okay, ito pinaplot lang yung returns na positive. Vis-a-vis the conditional standard deviation. Alam naman natin guys na ang standard deviation is always positive kaya all of these are above 0. Okay, yung blue dito, these are your standard deviation. Yung gray dito, those are your returns. No? Okay, so may iba pa guys. No? I leave that to you to explore. 9 guys is ito. Remember the normal QQ plot, quantile plot? This tells us that this is a visual inspection kung yung model natin, kung yung residuals natin are normally distributed. Hindi nga, no? Yung ito guys, sa mga left tail, right tail, makikita natin na hindi na normally distributed. No? Okay, and then another one is itong 12. No? Ito gagamitin natin in a while. No? Ito, this measures shocks, guys. Kunyari, yung epsilon sub t minus 1, di ba? This is the, if it's a positive error term, ano yung effect niya sa volatility? So it tells us here that whether it's a positive error, epsilon sub t minus 1, which is your residual, negative residual or positive residual, pareho ang effect niya sa sa volatility. So consistent to guys sa Niblom test natin, yung sign test. Okay, walang effect whether it's negative residual or positive residuals, and pareho lang yung effect nila. Kasi guys, ang katotohanan niyan guys, sino talaga mas may effect sa volatility? Sino? Yung positive residual, ibig sabihin tumaas yung returns, o negative residuals? The truth is, mas malaki dapat yung effect ng negative epsilon sub t minus 1. Kasi nagre-react ang mga tao pag negative yung returns. Sabi nga nila, yung stocks daw, it's like climbing up the stairs. Ibig sabihin climbing up the stairs, kung pataas yung residuals, ibig sabihin tumataas yung returns, ang effect niya parang umaakyat ka ng hagdan. Pero pag negative naman guys, it's like riding the elevator. So nakita niyo yung corollary, yung analogy. No? Ang stock prices daw, ang stock returns, it's like climbing up a stairs or riding down the elevator. Okay, so mas grabe yung impact pag negative yung returns, no? Kung negative yung pagpababa yung returns. Okay, so let me close this, 0. Tapos merong isa guys na, okay, here, kung gusto nyo na sabay-sabay na lahat, tapos hindi na isa-isahin, okay, you can plot this, Control C, natalagay sa console. Okay, yung which is equal to all. So ibig sabihin yan, hindi na niya iisa-isahin, but it will plot everything. Yan, okay? Ito yung 12 guys na plots dun sa plot natin from RUGARCH. Okay? Yung analysis ng residuals. Okay, so I leave that to you, no? So let's move on. Okay, so this is just to tell you how to forecast. So here I'm creating an object called fcast1, and then we're going to use a UGARCH forecast. So this is the function fit or spec is equal to model1. Okay, ang minomodel natin is yung model 1 natin, yung standard GARCH. And then gawin natin 1 month na 1 month step ahead. Tapos ipa-plot natin siya. Okay? Tingnan natin. Forecast 1. Okay, then this one, plot yung fitted ng forecast 1. Okay? Take a look at this. Bakit siya ganito, guys? So this is the plot of the returns. Di ba constant yung mean, which is 0.002? Ito yun, no? So walang mangyayari, guys, sa mean natin. Okay? So ang forecast natin ng mean is still 0.002 something, no? Constant kasing ginamit natin. Okay, I hope that's clear. And then, sorry, hindi na ako masyado makapagtanong. And then let's now plot naman yung variance. Okay, so this is the plot of the variance for the next days, for the next 22 days. Okay. You notice that it's increasing, no? It's increasing over time. Kasi, ano ba yung model natin? Where's our model? dito sa harap. Take a look at our model, guys. Okay? So what happens is that nag-i-increase, no? Nag-i-increase kada increase ng isang interval. There's an increase from volatility of 0.836, tapos kay residual square naman 0.12. So over time, guys, nag-i-increase yung volatility natin. That's why it looked that way. So that was the predicted volatility. Okay, and then lastly, guys, i-check lang natin based on the QQ plot, yung residuals natin hindi normally distributed, no? Okay, so this is just to test. Tingnan natin yung standardized residuals. So let's create the standardized residuals, which is just the residuals from module 1, and then standardized is equal to true. Run natin to. It will create the standardized residuals. You can also use this formula. So yung return minus the fitted value divided by sigma. That comes from your stat na x is equal to z is equal to x minus mu over sigma. Sa normal distribution nyo. If you run this, pareho lang yan, no? They have the same values. And then i-plot na natin, guys, yung ano natin, yung so this is now the standardized residuals for model 1, no? Lumabas sa test natin na ano model 1? Model 1 ba ito? Oh. Lumabas sa test natin, guys, na okay? So yung red natin, guys, which is your empirical, kita natin, guys, na hindi talaga ano, no? So skewed talaga siya. Si-normal natin hanggang dito. Okay? So this is just parang replicate ko lang nasa taas kanina. Okay, there is a symmetry, no? And fat tails. Okay, so ibig sabihin ito, guys, mas maganda kung hindi normalized yung gagamitin natin, but rather this is the skewed students t distribution. Okay, so punta na natin dito. Model 2 na tayo, guys. Okay. We're now going to use standard gauge pa rin. Kaso yung normal natin, tingnan nyo to, anong kaiba nito sa una? Constant mean pa rin yung mean model natin. Yung variance natin, standardized gauge pa rin. Pero this time we're going to use skewed student distribution, yung t distribution. Yan, no? So we'll call it spec 2 and then model 2. Okay, so run natin to. Let's run this. Okay, then before we get to model 2, tingnan lang natin coefficients, no? Okay, so may coefficients tayo dito, no? So you have the constant mean, omega, alpha, beta, and then may nadagdag na, guys, yung skew at saka yung shape. The skew tells us about the distribution. So it's pag halos 1 to, guys, ibig sabihin yan uniform, no? Walang tails, walang fat tails. Bakit? Kasi nga ginamit natin to ang model natin SSTD, and that resolved that inayos napaganda yung model natin kasi ang ginamit natin na distribution model is yung tama, no? Okay, so dito may sinabi lang ako dito, guys, using the SSTD will give parameters of skew and shape. So nadagdag to, no? Wala to dati kanina sa normal. The shape, which ito, guys, which is new, so that's new, gives a degrees of freedom parameter. So yung shape, guys, sasabihin niya sa atin yung fatness. Okay, may ano pa rin, may fatness pa rin sa tails, pero hindi na siya parang sa skew, guys. Take a look at skew, which is your XC. No, ito yung Greek letter sa kanya. Okay, so naging symmetric na siya. So hindi na masyadong may fat tails pa rin, pero wala na yung masyadong naka-skew to the left or skew to the right, no? So by using SSTD, na ayos natin yung infirmity na yung distribution natin, in-assume natin na normally distributed. Okay, so if we run this, guys, ito na yung ano natin, no? So take a look at this. Okay? As Garch pa rin, 0-0 pa rin yung ano natin, yung mean model. Distribution natin ngayon, SSTD na. Okay? And if you take a look at the parameters, lahat significant except si omega, no? Mukhang insignificant si omega. Pero since ano naman siya, since average lang naman siya, we still include omega, no? Sa modeling natin. And then yung skewness, practically 1 siya, ibig sabihin symmetric na siya. But there are still fat tails, no? Dun sa shape. Pero at least na-address natin yung skewed to the left kanina, no? Okay, and then here, Akaiki. Okay, sino mas maganda guys? Itong model na to o yung kanina? Ano yung Akaiki ng isa kanina? This is negative 5.32. Going back to the other model. Okay. Akaiki natin dito is negative 5.23. So which is the better model? Yung second model natin kasi it has the lower Akaiki corrected information criterion. Okay, other things about the model, titingnan natin to, no? Yung box test, guys, this is a test of serial correlation. So may serial correlation ba? Related ba yung mga residuals natin to each other? Hindi. P-values greater than 0.05. So we fail to reject this. Ganun din guys, hindi lang sa standardized residuals, pati sa standardized squared residuals. No? Okay tayo in both. Pati sa ArchLM test guys, same din yung null hypothesis dito na serial correlation. So consistent tayo sa whether it's yung box test or Arch Lagrange multiplier test. Okay. Stability guys, stability. Titingnan natin guys yung mga ano natin, individual stat. Compare natin dito sa 5% statistic, 5% level of significance. 0.47, sino yung ano? Ang dami, no? Ang dami. Ito, okay, hindi stable. Ito, hindi stable. Ito, hindi stable. Ito, hindi, hindi. Okay. Let's just focus on the coefficients, no? So, si omega, si alpha, at saka si beta, hindi siya stable. Ibig sabihin, guys, there's the presence of structural changes. So, malamang nito, guys, magmo-model tayo ng during, kasi simula to ng 2008 during the financial crisis. So, malamang yan, we will have to determine dapat kung hanggang saan yung structural break, tapos magkaroon tayo ng panibagong model after that. Okay, so para magkakaroon tayo ng two models. One during the GFC and another one after the GFC. I don't know, baka meron pang isang structural break during the COVID, no? That's another way to pwede natin tingnan din yan, no? Okay? And then the sign bias test, ano sinasabi nito, guys? Sign bias test, guys. Ang sabi nito, ano? Okay, wala namang significant difference yung effect ng positive at saka negative residuals, no? Okay. So wala siyang effect. Pag less than 0.052, may effect 'yan. So i-investigate pa natin 'yan. All right, and then this one, take a look at this. Ano yung natin dito? Ano null hypothesis? The distribution model is standardized, skewed t-test. So, we fail to reject. Ibig sabihin, tama yung natin, guys. Tama yung distribution model. So, mas angkop nga, mas tama yung skewed student t-distribution compared to model 1, where we were rejecting that null hypothesis ng normal distribution. Okay, so some explanations here. And then, sinagot ko na yung mga questions dito, guys. So you can answer this. Okay, so tingnan natin to, guys. So let's create yung mga standardized residuals ng Model 2. And then i-plot natin siya. So let's run this whole chunk. Okay, tingnan nyo, guys. No? Look. Okay, may fat tails pa rin, no? May fat tails pa rin based on the on the shape, diba? 4 point something yung ano eh. Ibig sabihin, it indicates there is there are tails, fat tails, no? Kaso nga lang yung skewness niya hindi na masyado, guys, no? Nag-symmetrical na siya. Okay, I hope you got that. In terms of the skew, na-address natin yon kasi hindi na masyadong mahaba yung ano, yung kasi equal to 1 na yung ano eh, yung skew na yung XC natin, yung XC na value. 'Di ba 1 point something na? Ibig sabihin, medyo naging symmetrical na siya. So this is a lot better than the previous one na yung red natin talagang mas mahaba compared to the blue one, which is the normal distribution. Although may fat tails pa rin because of the thickness. Ito, may fat tail siya. Okay, so again guys, dito, tingnan natin to. Control C, Control V. Ay, hindi ko na-copy lahat. Ay, nako, bilis ang oras. Okay. Too fast the time. Control C. Ayaw. Ayan. Okay. So we're unplotting it here, yung 12. Oras na. Okay, tingnan nyo guys yung standardized QQ plot. Tingnan nyo. Okay, you can see that it's now okay na siya, no? Wala nang mga ano, when we use the SSTD, okay, yung residuals natin, okay na, no? Also, the news impact, pareho din. Diba sabi natin, walang difference yung news impact, guys, whether it's a positive news or a negative news. Okay, it's almost time. Okay. May I request you guys to please so ito, ano ba to? Sa okay. All right. Yung next dito guys is the GJR guards. Pakibasa guys, pakibasa. So GJR guards is let's see if this is an improvement of the yung kanina constant mean and standard guards. GJR guards is an improvement of the standard guards, no? So before we go guys, pakita ko lang dito na dito we're trying to distinguish the effect of a positive surprise or shock. Ibig sabihin yung epsilon, yung error term natin is positive or negative error term. Kung may difference ba sila. So may I request you guys on Wednesday, sana paki-run nyo to. No? And tingnan nyo guys, ang nabago dito. Still constant mean, pero yung model natin ngayon, hindi na S-Garch. It's now called GJR. From Gloston, okay, Jagannathan, and Ramkal, the 3 persons who developed this. Okay. So, pakiran to guys, and then, ano na notice nyo? Pag rinan nyo, nagkaroon na ng bagong ano ngayon, no? Gamma. No? May gamma value na dito. Unlike yung kanina, yung standard gauge, walang gamma yon. Okay. Ang difference kaya ng standard gauge at saka ng GJR is may gamma. Okay, so sa gamma guys, magkakaroon tayo ng dalawang model. We will have to distinguish between a positive shock and a negative shock. Kung titingnan nyo to guys, kung negative shock, sabi ko kanina, di ba? Kung negative shock, mas nagre-react yung market, mas nagre-react yung mga tao. Kaya ang ginagawa dyan sa gamma, okay, it's time guys. May I have 2 minutes guys? Okay lang ba? Paki-ano na lang, kung okay lang mag-extend ng 2 minutes. Do I have your permission? Last 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Luisa. Okay, the rest. Okay, thank you, Abby. Alright, sige. Tapusin ko lang tong part 1 na to. Ang difference, guys, ng GJR, by the way, guys, no? By the way, 2 terms ago, may in-advise ako na thesis group. Ito yung model nila. Nag-GARCH modeling, iba't ibang klaseng GARCH modeling. T-GARCH, A-PARCH, okay, E-GARCH. Kino-compare nila yung mga models yun. Tinitingnan nila kung sino mas maganda ng volatility. Okay? So, based on returns ng iba't ibang index, tinignan nila kung sino among the models, GARCH models, ang makakapag-model ng volatility. So, pinitong gamma, guys, ang mangyayari sa model natin, kapag negative news, idadagdag natin yan sa alpha 1. Kasi remember, guys, yung news, ang effect na yun sa residuals, yung sa prediction ng returns, no? Squared residuals. That's why, pag negative news, guys, ito, how to write the equation? For epsilon, ito. Pag yung residual is less than 0, ibig sabihin negative, dadagdagan natin, guys, yung alpha 1 plus gamma. Okay? Mas malaki yung effect sa volatility pag negative news. As compared to pag positive, hindi natin idadagdag si gamma. So ito, alpha 1, ay may mali yata ako dito. Alpha 1.03 dapat to. No? Sorry, pakibago na lang, guys. This should be dapat yung paano ba na-copy yan? Ay, hindi. Tama, guys, tama. Kasi inad natin itong dalawang to. Tapos pag pag positive yung epsilon, okay, ito lang, yung alpha 1 lang. Hindi natin i-add sa gamma. Okay? So, pakisagot na lang dito, guys. Anyway, may binigay na rin ako ng answer sa iba. Okay, tapos, ang susunod, guys, GJR GARCH na may RAR1 model na. So, hindi na ito constant mean. Tapos, titingnan natin. Okay, so kindly look at the rest, no? Para next meeting, guys, tapusin kagad natin to and then we go to VAR and VEC-M. Okay, tapos kung may time pa tayo, tingnan natin review natin yung panel data. Alright, thank you so much, guys, for your patience. Maraming salamat. Ipopost ko mamaya kung saan yung ipopost yung output nyo and then also the panel data. Okay, so thank you.